All right, so we're back at it. Yeah, we're up here making compost and just cleaning things up. It's been a few months since I forgot to do this. Really and truly, I think it's been since last. I was up here this spring doing some stuff when we were hauling it out. But we got some dry beans here that come from a local canning plant where we get all of our green beans from. They haul these in because they haul in, I don't know, a couple hundred yards of it over 9 months. So yeah, I finally get to go through, rotated all the windrows. Got wood chips here from some locals that ground some trees from that bad storm we had last summer that took out our barn. Yeah, so that's what all this is from. They kind of hauled it here and we blend it in and it breaks down over time, you know. And then some of the wood chips we clean up from our local festival that we do some work with. I think we hauled out 1,900 yards or something like that. We bring in about 1,900 yards, so we try to clean up what we put in every year, just for the ground's sake. So we'll probably get around to that here pretty soon. But yeah, so we're making compost, and it's one of those. It's Friday. We've been working on the new combine here and there, got it serviced, getting filters changed, all that. But we're waiting on some parts because they had 2 broken studs in it. Then we were missing one. I don't know how that happened, but we're waiting for those to show up. The feeder house, there's a plate that's wore off on it. Got some new plates that we're gonna have to weld in on that. Yeah, we're waiting for some of our ag leader stuff to show up for the yield monitor, because got to get all the wiring harness for all that to work and make do. So yeah, we're just waiting on that kind of stuff. So I said I'm tired of waiting and washing. I do need to get our other combine washed up and listed for sale, but if you're interested in a 1996 TR88, it's got a 6-row corn head and a 20-foot flex head. I actually got 2 of those. One's a parts head, which has got good poly and everything on it. It's getting cleaned up. Working on it. Got all that. It's washed, ready to get listed. I just haven't done it. I got to get the green head washed up, but I decided this was a better day activity. I've been tired of washing, so. But yeah, anyways, back to the compost. We've always had this here. Been here for the last 20 years. We've always been making compost as far as I can remember. Basically because we hauled the leaves out of our local municipality, and we've had these green beans that we've been taking care of, and we come up here and mix it up. And for some reason it seemed like all we did was mix it up, never really got to spreading it. And this site got 5 or 6 big windrows, and then every once in a while we'd get a random year where we'd spread some. But we've picked up a few more acres up here over the years, and some sandier ground for some of the other activities we do. That also came along with the canning plant. And we've got to spreading it on the last 3-4 years pretty consistently. And I can tell you right now that this stuff makes the crops more drought tolerant. And I know this because I can go look at the neighbors, and not necessarily these neighbors, but just any field next to the stuff we've spread this on over the last 3 or 4 years, and it just seems to hold up a little bit better. And what I've found in the samples that we've pulled is this covers a lot of our micronutrients. So yeah, it's worked out well. I really want to get to spreading more of it, but trucking, we have it all here and it costs money to truck it. So we'll see if we get any haul down. It's about 8 miles that direction to our other farm down in Montague. So you know, there's a little bit of a cost there, and you start hauling, you know, 2,000-3,000 yards, and you start racking up some miles and fuel bills. So it works really good up here on this ground because it's close. Every field's within 3 to 4 miles, I think is what it is. So we can knock it out. We're putting about 2 ton to the acre. That covers all the micros for our yield goals. And yeah, so it's been working out well. Trying to be more consistent with it, get it taken care of, get more acres covered with it, and just build up the soil. And that's what we've noticed. It helps really build the soil up. That, we're getting into some cover cropping up here because this ground's able to handle a little bit better. The clay ground's a little bit more fussy, I guess is the best way to put it. And part of that maybe is because we're learning how to cover crop and do that kind of stuff. I mean, we are in the northern part of the latitudes, so we start combining in October. Most people, you know, that are probably heavier into the cover crops than we are starting to plant their cover crops in October, you know, and they have growth after that. Our problem is we run into a late growing season, and I don't know, or we run later into our growing season for harvest, and I don't know if we can necessarily get our cover crop established with some of the multiple varieties, and maybe I need to learn more about the multiple varieties we can put in. We've tried it in the past, but it's kind of been let's just throw it out and see what happens. And I don't think it's worked out well really for us, so I'm trying to be more deliberate, I guess is the right word for it, on what we're doing with our cover crops. And I think, you know, just doing that helps get it more established and have a better turnout for a cover crop going into the next season to help us increase our yields or maintain our yields on a droughty year. And I think this has something to do with it, and also the cover crops. So, you know, we're learning, trying to figure it all out, and it's just taking the time to get established with it and getting a system that works. So that's what we got going on, but we're gonna keep rolling on this, get this cleaned up. It's Friday, so, you know, we might peel out of here a little early. We got some family in town that we're gonna hang out with, you know, the summer things that you have to do. But yeah, that's what we got going on. We're gonna do some learning, trying to see if, you know, what we can do to do better. Well, got the new combine out, ran some wheat with it. Only had 10 acres this year, but there's a truckload going there. The bin's full, so we did all right. But yeah, so anyways, I don't know if I've even really showed this thing off yet, but about a 2388, 1020, 30-foot head. Still looking for a corn head, but you know, we'll get there. Besides for our small mishap earlier, which we won't talk about, this thing cuts great. Does a really good job. You know, way different animal than our our TR88. So different 88, but this one's definitely something else. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go get the header trailer, get the head set off, and do some, I don't know, looking over this thing now. We've done some stuff to it, worked on it a little bit here and there, got it serviced. But you know, we have a lot of acres around this fall with it, so we found out that it needs a new unload belt. Field tracker's not quite working right. Something to do with it kicking just hard to the left once you kick it on. So we don't know what's going on there, if we got some bad sensors or what it is on the head, or if it's on the combine side. I don't know. We're trying to learn. Been doing some reading on the internet, but yeah. So anyways, that's what we got going on. But yeah, we got our 10 acres ran in no time flat, and there's a good chance it went 100 bushel the acre, so can't complain about that. Only thing we can't complain about is the price of wheat, so it's got some heads on it. So yeah, when it made wheat, it was making wheat. So I'll tell you what though, the straw, out here is not anything to write home about. So I guess these things aren't, from what I can tell, aren't known for making straw. I ran it over here, but there's quite a bit of wheat that was ran right through here. I mean, it was nice heavy residue, and it's not a very big windrow, so I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so that's the combine. We're gonna get rolling and do something else today. Hopefully this gets baled before, we're supposed to get an inch of rain tomorrow, maybe Saturday, I don't know. But hopefully we can get this baled before then. So I don't know, it's time to go find some lunch. But yeah, new unit.